understanding about the cultures and nations around the world is often colored by our memory of these places that we have received through media. Mass media portrayals undoubtedly play a very important role in influencing people's attitudes towards art groups, especially when presented in very realistic ways in media such as films. The history of stereotypical representation of India largely dates back to colonial rule in India, where they focused on depicting people of India as savage and uncivil simple folks. Partition and the British Empire have been source of dramatic material for filmmakers in the past, from Richard Attenborough's Oscar-winning Gandhi to David Lean's A Passage to India.
I do so hate mysteries.
We English do.
I rather like mysteries, but I do dislike muddles.
India is always associated with pollution whenever it is portrayed by the media. It is common to find portrayals of dirty roads, unclean waters, marshy streets, and spoiled food, depictions of noisy locals in scenes in India. Apart from such visuals, there were also some characters that made verbal references to pollution.
My new uniform, sir.
Aye. But you're not daft enough to wear it like that, are you?
Why, what's wrong with it, sir?
Why? It's got to be sterilized, lad.
Sterilized?
Aye. How many times have I told you that in India everything has to be sterilized? The food you eat, the water you drink.
The bazaar forms a unique and fascinating location for Western filmmakers as an urban jungle that is crowded by people, shops, and animals. The bazaar also becomes a place where spectacles and mysteries such as sword eating, rope walking, fire walking, and like that take place. Indian places were more likely to be given fictitious names, mostly using par, por as a suffix, like Ranjipur in the Rains game. Rajpur is one other such non-existent town created for the films. The scenes that were devoted to featuring birds and animals are usually set in India. Images of actual animals often appear as a part of natural jungle, as urban beasts of draught, or as mode of transportation. Religious rituals, superstitious beliefs, magic, and sorcery were more likely to be presented in Indian settings. The central theme of films such as Ganga Din and the Temple of Doom revolves around a murderous Indian religious cult called Thuggi. Thuggi are shown as worshippers of Kali, the Hindu goddess associated with destruction and sorcery who would kill to please her. Women and children in India were often shown as being victims of a social-religious cultural system, like in the movie The River. The protagonist explains the arranged marriage of an Indian girl.
One day, near an old temple, she saw a young man. He was so beautiful, she thought he was the Lord Krishna come down to earth. Then her father told her she had to marry a man of his choice. That's the ancient custom.
Bollywood also produced a stereotyped image of Muslim males with a beard and cap and amulet around their neck, and Muslim females with burqa, chadar, or at least a headscarf. The Muslims are mostly villains, and even if shown positively, they are related to the underworld. Scenes with poor people were usually depicted as a backdrop, as part of the crowd in Indian streets, and as helpers in British colonial quarters in India. Several films show Indian servants sweeping the floor, tending to horses, carrying luggage, bowing and saluting, serving food, and doing manual labor in the sun. Films play an important role in shaping ethnic and national identities, especially in the absence of much face-to-face interaction with these groups. They help to create and maintain national stereotypes. Historically, Europeans portrayed themselves as representing liberty, equality, progress, change, and dynamism in such accounts. In contrast, India was depicted as unhistorical, caught up with traditions, inert, or in a process of decline.